Howdy folks, I'm Tim Woodruff, owner and founder of the SN Guys and SN Pro Tips. This is just going to be a quick video to demonstrate a free tool that I've put together in collaboration with Rob Fedoruk, CXO of Vivid Charts. If you like what we've built, I humbly welcome you to subscribe to my blog, SN Pro Tips, this YouTube channel, and Rob's mailing list. If you want to level up your ServiceNow skills, please also feel free to check out some of my books, such as Learning ServiceNow and the ServiceNow Development Handbook. Links to all those things are in the description. Alright, let's get down to business. First, a quick explanation of what this app is. This is the Was This Email Helpful, or WtEH tool. Its purpose is to give you the tools that you need to make your email notifications more useful, user-friendly, actionable, and relevant. How many times have you had to ask your users why they haven't approved something or actioned some notification, only to find out that they've either filtered emails from ServiceNow to junk, or have made a habit of deleting them without reading them? This is a common problem that I'd reckon most businesses face, and the problem, get this, probably isn't your users. The problem is most likely your notifications. Users don't filter or ignore emails because they're lazy. At least that's not the only reason. They do that because the emails they're receiving are not relevant or actionable 90% of the time, and most people in any organization probably already get way more emails than they should. You can't always stop corporate newsletters, spam, or many other types of irrelevant nonsense getting into their inbox, but you can make sure that the notifications that they get from ServiceNow are at least relevant, and by doing so, you can ensure that users learn that when they get a notification from your instance, they need to pay attention, because it means that something probably requires their attention, or at least that something relevant and important to them has happened. Now, I've published a whole article on exactly how to improve your notifications once you know where the problems are. I'll put that link in the description of this video as well. This video isn't about that though. It's about how to identify which notifications are problematic. That's where the Was This Email Helpful tool comes in. WtEH has two main features. One, it allows you to add a simple Was This Email Helpful section to your notifications or templates so that users will be asked for their feedback on the notification. Two, for all notifications which contain the WtEH mail script, it'll also track email open rates. This will tell you on a notification by notification basis how frequently emails from your instance are being sent but never opened. This is not perfect because some mail clients will situationally refuse to load any external resources, but I've put it together in such a way that I think is relatively clever so that it should work most of the time. And when it comes to open rates, the important thing is whether notifications are proportionally less likely to be opened, so that even if some users appear never to open any emails due to their mail client settings, that shouldn't impact the overall proportionality of the open rates on a per notification basis. WtEH also has some amazing built-in reports and a companion app called the PA Pack for companies which have the Performance Analytics Premium license. That gives you detailed breakdowns of the feedback without you having to do anything. But of course, you can always build your own customized reports in PA or the out-of-the-box ServiceNow reporting engine. You can build your own indicators and breakdowns as well. After installing the WtEH application using the instructions on SN Pro Tips, link in the description, you'll need to set it up by adding the mail script to some notifications or templates. Here's an example of a notification that contains the mail script, which we'll use as a demo. This is just an example notification that fires off whenever we update an incident. I've already triggered this notification, which resulted in an email being sent. You can see the email that was sent here. This email being sent out also resulted in a read receipt record being created associated to that email with the email opened checkbox set to false. Once the user opens the email, it'll attempt to load a remote resource via HTTP, which will trigger a scripted REST API to run. This scripted REST API will result in the read receipt record being updated. Let's simulate the user opening the email now by previewing the email in ServiceNow. And if we flip back to the read receipt, we can see that it now knows the email's watermark and that it was opened. This data then feeds into a report that should give you a sense of which notification types are most likely to be deleted or junked without being read. The other feature of the tool, as you may have seen in the email preview, is that the user can click on the button indicating whether the email was helpful or not, and then is able to leave a comment indicating why they thought it was or wasn't helpful. Let's have a look at that now. So we're back on the preview of the email that we sent earlier. We can see the Was This Email Helpful buttons here in this section. And we can click on, I think this email was pretty helpful. The fields which have changed are highlighted in bold, and more about how to do that in my article linked in the description. So I think that's pretty helpful. So I'm going to check this box, or click this button rather, to indicate that the email was helpful. You can see I'm on the new record form now, and a bunch of stuff is pre-filled. Now, I'm an admin, so I can see this stuff, and I can change it. But if I were a regular user, I wouldn't see most of this. I would just see the feedback selector to indicate whether the email was or was not helpful. That's pre-populated based on the button that I clicked on. And I've got a comments field. I'm going to go ahead and leave a comment that says, this email felt really relevant, and I liked that the bits that changed were highlighted in bold. And then I'm going to click Submit Feedback. And because this was the last record I was looking at, and because I'm an admin and have access to it, it just bounced me back here, but ignore that for now. There you just saw a notification. If I attempt to leave feedback on the same notification twice, it lets me know, and it doesn't allow me to submit. It says it looks like I've already submitted feedback for this notification for this user. I can click here to show the existing feedback record, which I've just done there, and you can see that. Now, you can configure exactly when this happens, so you can allow users to leave feedback on the same notification multiple times, as long as the watermark on the email is unique. So they can't leave multiple feedbacks on the same exact email, but they can leave multiple feedbacks, if you allow it, on the same exact notification record, as long as each email is unique. So if I get the same notification 5 times, I can leave 5 feedbacks if you enable that setting. Speaking of settings, you can customize all kinds of stuff about how the app behaves. This is that setting I was talking about, allowing multiple feedbacks on the same notification. You can also change the question text, the helpful button background color, and text, as well as the same for the unhelpful button. You can choose by default to show a warning only to admins when an update is available to the feedback application. I highly recommend leaving that checked, but you can uncheck it if you don't want to upgrade the app when an upgrade is available. And these two are very important. You can choose to require a comment when the user is leaving positive feedback, when the user is leaving negative feedback, or both. So if I check that and hit save, then only if the user has selected negative feedback, as in this email was not helpful, only in that case would it require that I leave a comment. Now I've gone ahead and left a comment on this feedback record. So that's going to feed into a word cloud in the reports if you have the Performance Analytics Premium license and the PA Pack of this application installed. Let's have a quick glance at those reports right now. Here you can see a couple of basic report types. Sentiment score on a 7-day running average, which you can click into to get a lot more detail, and a bunch of other reports here that are broken down by, for example, the top 5 worst performing notifications by sentiment, and a bunch of other stuff that you can drill into and play around with as you like. On the other tab here, we've got comment analysis. Now this is a word cloud which has some interesting information in it, but because it's not broken down right now, it's not terribly helpful. So let's go ahead and add a filter here. Let's do only negative feedback. And it looks like the most common word that we're getting on negative feedback is the word relevant. Now that tells me that probably people are saying that the emails are not relevant to them. So I can even drill further down into that, and I can see the related records where relevant is mentioned. I can verify. Of course, this is all just sample data that I generated programmatically, so it doesn't actually have any meaning. But if these were real comments, you could see the actual sentiment that people are providing here. And I can choose to break this down any way I like, including by notification, by day. I can pick various days and move around here, just as you can do with any PA word cloud breakdown. And there you have it. Let's have a quick look at the sentiment score. So you can see this is the average, sort of a running 7-day average. Now if we open up the breakdowns panel, I can choose to break down by notification. So if there's a particular notification that I want to see the breakdown for, I can, for example, look at this one, request item commented, and I can see We have a, not too much variance in the trend line here. Of course, remember, this is all sample data, but I artificially created in the sample data a trend here starting on August 21st, trending downward, the notification sentiment. So here I can see perhaps in my environment, I made a change and released to production, a change to this particular notification on the 21st, and then you can see the feedback trend rapidly downwards. So people did not like that change. That's what I can tell about that. And you can add confidence bands, trends, you can do forecasting, and all that good stuff. So that's it. That's a quick introduction to the Was This Email Helpful application. If you would be so kind as to like, subscribe, share, and do all the things that one normally does on YouTube or on the internet. I don't really understand social media, so I'm leaving that up to you. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget, if your business is looking for ServiceNow architectural, development, administration help, or some backlog killing, feel free to reach out to the SN Guys at snguys.com, snguys.com, and you can book some time with me, including a free architectural review of your instance and no sales pressure. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great day.